let's go ahead and get started. Sorry I was late, especially after I chastised everybody. That means. All right. Carl with us?
No, he's going to call in if needed.
Okay.
He's on the road.
All right, did he give us the treasurer's report?
Did not.
Okay.
That was it.
Well, my gut feeling is the treasurer's report will say we didn't make any money on it. Probably broke even.
Yeah.
John, you agree with that?
Yeah, probably. We may make a couple $100, but without knowing what the invoicing was for the port, it's hard to say.
That hadn't come in.
It has not. I will follow up with more in this.
Okay. All right, so we go to the secretaries.
Lori, how are you feeling? Hi.
Like who?
You have COVID? We miss you.
Last month's minutes were approved on the 13th. I just need your signature. We'll scan those.
Oh, okay.
I did attach a attendance report. Should be loose underneath. Just give you guys an idea. We're seeing a solid increase in attendance every week, every month, which is a good thing. So this is from the beginning of our last quarter, July through September. Just keep it rolling. I think we've got good response from participating members. Engagement is good, using DAC-TV to find out who's reading emails and such. So we're getting an increase on people at least opening up their emails and reading it, but we'll keep working on it. So, Stan, thanks for all your help pushing to get people back involved. So, that's pretty much all I got from our report.
I like these fractions of people who have,
There's
that's their attention to both decisions like this.
Yes. We'll defer Oinkin Oyster till Jay gets here, I guess. Anybody been thinking about fundraising ideas?
Do we want to follow the?
Are you going
Let's follow the.
to skip me?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Stan. Okay, let's do membership update.
That's not true. No.
Just basically brought in 4 members lately. Prospects, Amy and Sean. Amy was on the meeting last week. Sean hasn't been on, but if Amy comes on this week, I will encourage her to encourage Sean because I know that. Yeah. And Terry Spittler, he participated by eating some of our pig, contacted Carl. He doesn't live in the area. I think he lives in Oakcote or somewhere, but he wanted to know if he could join. He said, of course, we'll take your money. We're in the follow-up stage with him. All of those prospects have gotten the link for the meeting today, and they will continue to get those as I remember it. Some older business here. Back at the end of the last over year, we had said that we were going to move Warren from honorary. Nobody's been in contact with him for over a year, and we tried, and we think he's moved back to where his family is, Lewisburg, right? So to me, it doesn't make any sense to keep him on even as an honorary. I mean, it's not costing us anything, but we had talked about it several times. Carl wanted to try to get a hold of him again. No contact was made. So I think honorary membership.
We have a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
We got an idea. And the LOA status of Gary High and Joe, but especially Gary. At the same time, we talked about Warren. We talked about moving Gary to honorary because him being a LOA member, we are having to pay his dues. and he's not paying out. Kind of basically is trade set up for what he does with our t-shirts and all of that, and the way he's supposed to. So we had agreed, but it has not ever been done, to move him to an honorary status. So he still gets communication, still tied in, but it doesn't cost us anything. So I just want to reaffirm that we're going to make that happen.
Do we make a decent, do we need a motion now?
No, it's already been done.
Okay, let's go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Joe, there's been some discussion at the past meeting that, and I just probably where we touched base with Carl to see if he understood what leave of absence meant, if he was still going to pay his dues, because that is required for someone on leave of absence, that they still pay their basic dues. Okay. So I'll touch base with Carl. And on that whole thing, the next thing, and we'll talk about it as one of the items, membership orientation and the mentorship. I need to get to Carl's touch base to see who isn't paying the dues. Because that's really the test of participation. Are they writing the check? Because some people are participating but don't write a check, and we need to talk to them about that. And I think Carl was on that. But in another sense, if they're not doing either one, you need to talk to them. So I'll follow up with Carl, and basically he just needs to let me see the financial statement. I can see my own, but I can't. Close. Gotcha.
May want to mention to Carl, used to, I would bill for dues, and then 6 weeks later, I would send statements. So I'm sure he's probably doing that.
How you doing, Jay?
Doing all right. How about yourself?
Wave to Lori. Good.
You did,
I did.
you did. I have a question about Jennifer and one, because we're leaving December 7th. We really should be passport members because we are members there. We're not, we did pay the dues.
Right, but you're not members.
No, I know. But should we continue to pay our full dues here
It's up
when
to
we're
you.
gone for 6 months out of the year?
It's up to you. If you want to change it to passport, just have to let us know.
Yeah, just let Carl know.
It really makes no difference, frankly. It's just supporting the two. places.
That's right.
And we're
That's right.
registered through here, through our.
Right.
that's all.
Right. And that is-
Okay, we'll
that's-
just let it be. It's
And
fine.
that's the way I do it also.
That's fine, because they are always confused
Yeah.
over there too.
Yeah.
Like everybody's confused,
Yeah.
because apparently it's starting to happen more and more.
Yeah, people are associate members in a lot of places.
Yeah.
I know several people that are active across several districts that they're associate members in different clubs. They're not, they can't hold office, but they can support the club and work it, and
Right.
they're fine with that. And I think it's a great idea that we have the energy to support everyone.
Well, we cannot support it very much, but our money, when we're not here, that's one reason why I wanted to be here.
Oh, your contribution to the time you are.
That's fine. That's fine. Is your eye okay? You know, it's real bloodshot.
That's because I got an injection yesterday.
Oh, bless you. Sorry. Sorry.
And that's really all I have until we get to the part of the agenda about membership orientation and stuff.
Thank you, Stan.
My pleasure.
Okay. Jay, you want to give us the Oink and Oyster post 21?
Fishing. Woo,
Yeah,
got a little sun.
not catching today, but I did catch some from earlier. So I don't know what our numbers are from oinking. The oink, I'll call it the oink.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it came out ahead. And that's good. We are gonna need something else. And our typical oink and oyster brings in, on a really bad year, $5 grand. on a normal year, I would say about 7, and a great year, 10 or $11,000. And if we break 1,000 on this, I'll be extremely happy. So we're short on about $4,000 or $5,000. So one of the things I've talked to a few of you about it is to do a raffle. And I think we're coming on to Christmas, and one of those things, and that it's just me because I like to cook. I like to eat too, if you've seen my nice figure here, is like a big green egg or something similar to that. And the good part about doing a raffle, what I would think is $50 a ticket, 100 tickets. So people, you've got 1 in 100. It's not like maybe you'll have 1 in, like a Kitty Hawk. My kids do a raffle and they're $1 each, but there's probably 20,000 tickets sold. So your chance of winning anything is really low. Whereas this one, it's much, much better. The tickets reflect that. The good part about it, at least the way I would envision doing it, is to not buy the green egg until we actually have the money. So sell the tickets. Once we get, 30 tickets sold, buy the green egg. Have a set date or a set ticket, number.
Having a deadline helps the sale.
What is a green egg?
It's like a grill, but it's insulated. It looks like an egg.
Very
It's
nice.
egg shaped on the
It's
end.
very nice.
Yeah.
It's made out of ceramic.
Something you cook with.
Yeah, it's a
Outside.
grill.
It's
a charcoal grill.
Yeah,
It's charcoal.
Cook, bake.
yeah.
What I like about the idea, and Jay and I talked about this previously, was it's a quick startup. I mean, basically Jay or whomever Jay wants to assign to help him with this, we'll go to Ace or any other, I believe Kellogg sells them as
Kellogg's.
well. And well, that's Cottage Shop too. So
Yeah.
yeah, fairly quick startup. If we can work out a cost with them or even a discount, I mean, not much to print up raffle tickets, get this thing rolling. I was
Or a
thinking maybe-
donation.
Yep, exactly.
More donation.
And the raffle about 2 weeks before Christmas. That way people may buy
Yeah.
tickets to possibly have something extra put underneath the Christmas tree. I think it's a great idea. It's one fundraising idea. I think it's, like I said, it's a quick startup.
And we're not out. I mean, that's one of the tough things about Oink and Oyster is it's got a good money potential. But as we saw this year, and I've said that for a few years, like we've been lucky, extremely lucky to have only had once we had to cancel it. And that year was a hurricane and there's mandatory evacuation. So you
Yeah.
kind of don't get a choice whether.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. It's low risk. And I have seen these things in the past where they would have on the tickets that if they didn't sell a certain number of tickets, they converted it to a 50-50.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
can do
that's a good
that.
one.
And
That's
then
a good idea.
if we
That
only
is a good
sell
idea.
25
Yeah, it's a
tickets,
good idea.
convert it to a 50-50, the winner gets, $1,200 or whatever.
I don't think we'll have a problem selling 30 tickets, cover the costs or whatever the cost is. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good
I
idea.
think
to have
that's a good idea.
fallback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll print out the tickets and then I can chat with the people at Ace if somebody wants to talk to Kellogg's and see if they would give us a deal. And then,
You want me
I'll talk to Kellogg's.
You want to talk to
Lori's,
Kellogg's? All right.
Lori's, thank you.
Are we gonna get just a basic egg or we're gonna get the,
a basic egg, a large one's about $1,000. I was thinking an egg and a few other things so that you could actually take it and cook with it.
yeah,
And they have a package, but their package, I don't know, in my opinion, kind of sucks because it doesn't, you have enough to cook with it, but especially if you've not grilled much, you don't really have enough to cook with it. I think have it so that, and maybe like there's a big green egg book and maybe just a few other
Yeah.
things. And we can chat more about that, but
we can get it started.
we can get it started.
How much is this gonna cost to buy?
Well, it will be nothing because we're not buying it until we have the money.
Well,
It costs, what I'm thinking of
I'm trying to
is
figure out in my mind,
how much a big green egg would
how
be.
much it will cost to buy it and how much we're gonna sell the tickets for. Now, how many tickets do we have to sell?
50 tickets, we're selling 100, like Kern said, if we don't sell enough for us to buy, because I think we set a deadline before
We're talking
Christmas.
about 50 tickets, $100 each.
Yes,
I just $5,000.
yeah, 1,500-ish, 1,200 less if they give us a good deal.
I see, okay.
So I think a big green egg and a few things to get somebody started. If you just do retail, you're at least looking 1,500.
Yeah, the other thing Jay was talking about was doing like a swag bag to go with it, which would be, let's say a Yeti koozie or some First Flight koozies or the
Yeah.
like an oyster, just
Yeah.
do a swag bag to do it. Just throw a bunch of stuff in a bag that
Yeah.
they get with it. So it's not just the egg, you're getting a bunch of swag.
Yeah.
So we can find some people for.
And the swag might be able to get that done.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we definitely.
So we need to determine a date to start.
If y'all are game for it, I'll print the tickets out this week and then we'll
Start November 1st.
That's what I was thinking.
start.
Earlier than that, if we get everything.
Tickets
squared
get
away.
printed out and I think more important than the start date, because I think we should start it ASAP. I think it's the deadline date. And I was thinking December 20th. December 20th hits. If we don't have, say, 40 tickets sold, it's a 50-50. If we get more than 40, then you might be really lucky if you only have like 50 tickets sold. But either way, even if we just sold, say, 50 tickets, we're still clearing $1,500, $1,000.
So is it
I think it's a
50
good
tickets
idea.
at 100 or 100 tickets at 50?
100 tickets at 50.
50 is what we want.
I think it's a lot easier to sell a $50 ticket. I mean, it's even easier to sell $20 tickets, but
That's too
I
many
think
tickets.
it's too many tickets.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Well, if you're suddenly sold early on 100 tickets, would you?
I think we just
would you
run
print
it.
More?
No.
You wouldn't print-
No.
No.
we-
In other words, you're guaranteed.
It's a contract.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I think if you did it,
We could do a second one.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. And we were talking, you were talking about doing the Blackstone Grill.
Blackstone Grill. yeah.
You know, if we do that well, that quick, maybe
I love
rock out another one.
I'd love one in my bar.
Yeah.
Is it the wrong?
So we've already got tickets right
He's gonna
here.
buy a few.
I won't lie.
Would
I'm
it be
gonna
the
buy
wrong
some
season
good
for grills though?
Oh, you grill year round.
I grill
I grill
year-round.
Yeah.
I've had the grill.
I need
running
one. My
and
My
waiting
Weber
for snow.
stand is
With the
rusted
grill.
out from under it.
And I
Russ
have-
never sleeps.
All right, so Jay, we're rocking on that a little bit.
Yeah, I'll
And,
get the tickets and,
keep in touch with Gloria and I on that, see how we're going, let us know if there's anything we
Yeah.
can, or any of the board members can help.
yeah,
My idea for fundraiser, and this is something to chew on because it's probably pretty big. You look for the help of what other Rotary clubs have done. That's what I've been doing, and a bowl-a-thon or a bowling charity
Yeah.
event. Laura, do you know anybody at the OBX Bowling Center?
I don't work with anybody up there right now.
They do events, I mean, they do parties, so they obviously have some experience in
yeah.
coordinating things, but that's something I want to start looking at. I'll get
Yeah.
some more details on that, but I think it's an indoor event. We don't have to worry about weather.
Winter.
Yeah.
When do we do it? Late winter, early spring?
Yeah.
I think we could put, you get business sponsorships on each lane. They could put up a sign.
Yeah.
Usually the sun goes down where the pins are. But no, I think that's something that we could really look into and hopefully, make.
People are looking for stuff to do in February.
Yeah.
Like that's the tough part about October. It's
End
so
of January,
busy.
February.
October.
Yeah.
So that's,
Another thing, and this is forward thinking on the fundraising is, and I don't know if they had it this year. I know they didn't last year because of COVID, but if we merge with North Banks, the Nags Head Woods 5K is a hugely sought out thing in the running world. Those people love some Nags Head Woods 5K. And I think we definitely, I think they've had trouble staffing it because they've got, 8 people that are active. But I think when they make money on it, I think they make like 20, 30 grand kind of money. I think it's big chunking.
And that'll be our big project for the
Yeah.
spring.
That's Mother's Day, right? That's the Mother's
Yes.
Day one. Yeah, they mentioned that when I visited,
Yeah.
that they had taken it over for somebody else. Somebody else
Lions
used to do it,
Club years ago.
and they gave it to them. Yeah, and they mentioned that that was a good fundraiser, because I asked, what are your two big fundraisers? Of course, there was lobster dinner and that, so. That'd be
I
great.
could take or leave the lobster dinner, but the next.
Well, the lobster dinner is gonna be problematic because they're not gonna have like
Kelly's,
Kelly's
yeah.
hosted anymore.
Oh, they might be gone. This might be the very last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks
Yep.
likely.
The other thing in regards to fundraisers, if we do start a larger fundraiser, separate from Winter Oyster, which we need to talk about whether we're going to continue
Yeah.
that. We also need, I think Stan brought this up, is looking at what other benefactors or charities or organizations we want to give to. I think Beach Group Pantry is great to give to.
Yeah.
But we really need to look long and hard in the community where people need help,
Yeah.
what organizations
Yeah.
need help. I mean, you got the Outer Banks Community Foundation, lots of money there. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
so where do we go?
Right.
What in this area needs some assistance?
And, you know, what I think would be good to keep in mind, a mix. I've seen several clubs that, with their foundation, say, 2/3 of it stays in community, 1/3 of it goes international or out of the area. It doesn't have to be international, but it has to be out of the area so that they do participate, because we have a lot of people, several people that are very interested in the international projects. And I think that's an important part for Rotarians to participate in. It gives you a great feel for Rotary, especially if you can travel, that it's awesome, and it's really part of being a Rotarian. But, you know, I think that some balance in there, 2/3 and 1/3, works out really well, 80-20, whatever. I think we need to kind of keep that in the back of our minds so that we kind of keep a balance.
Well,
Because we're starting to turn, we're very close, and I have it on the report. We officially have 46 active members. And we're getting close to being a good medium-sized club. And we probably need more active positions in the club to help run it, because if we're going, I think we're going to continue to grow and attract people. And in a couple of years, we could be easily at 60 or 70 people. And we need to start building that organization now, because the old guard isn't going to be able to run it.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Well, I
it's-
think if we merge, and that's kind of our next topic, but if we merge with what the banks, we're gonna be.
we're gonna be.
If we take all of their members, if they all come over, they probably won't.
I think we'll be lucky to get 10.
Well, but we'll
And
take
it's
over their
sad.
stuff though. We'll take over that
Right.
5K, and that's gonna be,
And
we're gonna
right.
need a committee to run that, and, so it's gonna be a lot. We've been lucky the last couple of years. We haven't had any storm-related stuff. But normally, we know we need to be ready to, Hatteras always seems to get hammered if we get a hurricane. They always need help. Since the highway department did their bridge building over at Windsor, they always get flooded.
Thank you.
They built a big, long bridge upstream and replaced it and have a narrow bridge downstream.
Oh, that's not
And
smart.
that causes the water to back up.
It
into
should be the
town.
opposite.
Yeah, that causes water to back up into the town, so it's a mess.
That's a mess.
I had a couple of fundraising ideas that came to me. One came to me twice over the internet. It's just groups asking for donations.
Right.
Email, we do this and this and this, you know, please send us money. I asked Carl can get the email addresses for people who have bought Lincoln Oyster tickets online for the last several years from PayPal. So we've got a database, we can send them an email. You know, we didn't get to have our fundraiser this year. You supported us in the past, you know, please send us $25. So everybody can deduct $600 of charitable contributions this year, even if they don't itemize. So anyway, that's good.
We need to put that in small print.
We
Can you
can.
email?
We can, yeah.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. And then a member on Sunday had the strong opinion that instead of doing oink and oyster, we should just increase our dues.
I never said that.
That's come up in the past.
Oh, yeah, we've
Oh,
talked
mine
about
was-
that in the past.
My former club did that.
Yeah, several times. And, you know, and got our invoice from Carl and, you know, it's got dues, it's got Rotary International donation. We could add a line item for First Flight Rotary Foundation.
Yes, well,
So that's a possibility.
But to replace
people know that
fundraisers or just to look for more money?
in addition.
It probably would be to,
Replace
Well-
the oyster.
We could always,
or offset, you know, oink and oyster,
Yeah.
you know, oink and oyster, I guess, is a little up in the air at this point in the future.
People are sad, they're very sad, there have not been oysters on the beach. A lot of people have said to me, oh, we were so sad not to come down. It was like the first of fall event that was good.
yeah,
I mean, I've had at least
Yeah.
5 people say something to me.
If the idea of replacing projects, fundraising, and so forth, with simple donations, misses the point. The fundraisers give the clubs, the people, something to work together on.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
It also gets us out in the community too. Let's the community see our faces out there.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
You
I
know,
agree.
so, I mean-
I told her, remember, I would bring it up.
If we got rid of oink and oyster, I mean, there would be something else that's gonna replace that, so.
But I think on the idea of, on the invoices, putting a line for the foundation.
Foundation
I think that's a great idea, because you have a foundation for this
Mhm,
club, that's
right.
now I know. And then you have money in the kitty for international projects, because you're right. There, and if Amy becomes a member, you know, she works for Pfizer and she is international. That's what she does, manage teams international. So she would be a very good person to be tutored in grants.
Yeah.
And be able to do that. At my old club, we also asked for applications from the different local concerns. And it was anywhere from, I think we gave up to 5,000 that we did on that. And we would pick a few, okay? And from that, because they would fill out their application, like Girls on the Run got like $2,000 and things like that. And that also puts your name out there, you know, that you're looking to help support the community. It's an application process. Then there's a small group that reviews it,
Right.
and then the board decides.
Yeah.
So those are a couple of suggestions.
That's good. Good suggestion. That's one thing, a friend of mine in the Wake Forest Rotary Club told me that they use their C3 foundation to get a bunch of raffle prizes donated or auction prizes donated. And then when they do, and their oyster roast is a loose term. It's not outdoor like we do. It's kind of an indoor big restaurant seafood dinner type.
Nice.
But they've got 10, 12 silent auction items that were donated. And, you know, I think,
Right.
you know, he said that C3 really helps them get the donations.
Right. Right. And that's one of the reasons that we did it.
Yeah.
All right, do we need a motion to do the raffle? Yes, okay.
I so move that we allow and encourage Jay and his committee to raffle. for the big green.
I'll second.
All in favor?
I don't know that I'm legal this second yet, so I'm like.
I think you
You're
are.
legal.
Okay.
I think you are.
We can put you a second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Oh, and Lori's also put her hand up. She could say.
That's right, don't forget Lori. Okay, all right, so move on to new business, and the big one is the North Banks merger.
Yeah.
Stan, did anybody merge while you were district governor? You know the mechanics of it?
Well, basically, there's a couple things that can happen. If we change club names, that's something that RI can do, and I don't think anybody has to do. I think RI handles all of that, which I am really not in favor of changing our name.
I agree.
I think it's a mistake.
We already have the
sense of our board.
Yeah,
we didn't
yeah, I
want to
just
change.
bought 2 more shirts.
No, I think First Flight's so appropriate.
I mean, it's so representative.
Yeah.
But anyway, basically, they would be merging with us and they would all be quitting their club, terminating and joining our club. It's kind of like my church did with Kentucky United Methodist. Yeah, they said we merged, they took all our stuff. And those that wanted became members. So I was fighting for a board position because we had a lot of stuff. 8 acres down on the bypass.
Okay.
Yes, that's what we got.
Wow.
So that's the basics of it, which I am in favor of doing. You know, that can go either way, but you know, it really is pretty simple when you say merge. They have to close their bank accounts, because if we change name, we'd have to change everything. All our bank accounts, our foundation, they have a foundation also.
They have a lot of money, I think.
Yeah.
And look at their website, all the stuff that they say they were involved.
They have, and they've been around a long time.
They have been.
Yeah.
But they came to us, wanted merch. So,
And
Okay, all right, so I guess we need to have schedule a joint board meeting,
Have you had any discussion with them?
not formally. I mean, John called me on the phone.
Yeah.
And they came and visited us, that's about it. And they mentioned it to Cora when she went and visited them.
they did. And then I bought some tickets from Rob. And he said, well, I'd like to be on this sort of merger committee.
Rob is.
Rob
board of
Holmes,
directors?
he's been a past president.
Do we want to do a joint board meeting with full boards, or do we want
I
to
would
appoint
say-
a committee?
I would just say do a committee.
Okay. I think that would be better, just because I wouldn't want to say, okay, we got 7 people on our board and only 3 showed up. I think we ought to have 3 or 4 commit.
Yeah, I would say not over 3, because otherwise you're gonna have a meeting of 10 or 12 people.
yeah.
And
The more people, the
6
harder it
people
is to get
sounds
anything
good.
done.
3 and 3.
Can we set that committee?
I think we should.
Definitely you.
definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Why? No,
Because you put your finger.
no. I'm just thinking about people who've been with the club longest.
Yeah.
I think we should approach Carl with that, because Carl, I think, I think he's a very good representative of the club. So,
Carl used to politics too.
Yeah.
so 3.
I think we're 3rd.
I think it was Stan.
You 3.
Okay.
If Stan wants to do it.
I think Stan's got such
Yeah.
Although I
an
had
understanding of the
envisioned if
basics.
Stan was not one of our people, maybe he could be the mediator.
That's not, you know what, that's
I
a
would
good
gladly
idea.
do
Past
that,
district.
yeah.
I mean, do we want to jack at the 4? I mean, there was that.
I think 3 and 3
Yeah.
and
We start out with 3.
Because
Somebody,
I
somebody
think-
could record the meeting, that's the only thing. So I want to get this on, I want to get some minutes done.
Okay, all right, so you're
Yeah.
gonna come and you're gonna take
If you guys want a 4th person there, so, I
Yeah,
mean, but
I
I'll
think-
sit in the back and just.
All right.
Yeah, we'll just say it's a recording secretary.
You say you will be the recording secretary.
You can wave arms and flags, but you can't say.
Now, let me tell you how Outer Banks used to be. Because I remember when the Home Builders Association had the food fight at the monthly meeting.
nice.
Wow, I didn't know they were such a wild gang.
Yeah, that was when they were asked to leave the Holiday Inn and had to go start meeting at the Ramada. They used to meet at Holiday Inn, and they made sure they met on ladies' night at the bar.
This was a long time ago.
It was back in the
Yeah,
early
come on.
90s.
That's before.
I'm a little prejudiced against. They're the only club of the 43 clubs during my governor year that forgot that I was coming.
That's terrible. Who was Rob Holmes president at that time? Because I was gonna say that would be terrible.
I guess I
Nathan
should.
Ladd is president.
Thank you.
Was,
Yeah.
he was president.
I guess I should disclose that I was once turned down for membership in North Banks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this group of 3 is not so looking so good. I really think it'd be great though for you to be the mediator and have 3 more people, just to sort of help the committee.
Yeah, and
roll on.
I would love to keep my mouth shut.
They don't have a past district, but they don't have a past district governor from their club, right?
And somebody could heard my story. I started getting involved with Broken Town here, I went to them first. Went to 2 meetings, I think it was, no one ever spoke to them. I figured they weren't very friendly. That's why
Well, they've changed. When I was there, they were very,
they were.
and I had been to their club before, when they used to be over at where?
Western
The steak place.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I got the same treatment from them. So I went to Kitty Pond.
I've never
They-
been.
pass,
never
go
been.
move
Oh,
it.
it was a long time.
Just move
Now,
on.
this was a long time ago too.
Yeah, okay, past history.
When
Yeah.
Wild Goose.
And when I was turned down, it was like 1992, so like 93.
You were too young?
Well, one of the other CPAs who has passed away at this point objected
The same
because I
profession.
hadn't lived here long enough.
Yeah.
So, anyway. But I was
Sorry.
in their mind, and the next following spring, when they were starting First Flight, they called me and asked me if I would like to be a charter member of First Flight.
There you go.
I
So
have
it worked
one,
out.
one other question about it. I know the people, it seems to me the people that want this merger are definitely the people that are active in their club. I guess it's not our problem as much, but what if some do and some don't? Is that just them? They decide as a
That's a
club?
They make a decision.
Yeah.
Like anybody here.
They
can
vote.
leave any time.
That's it.
But I guess ultimately it's our board that would probably make that decision.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
and
if they-
if, for a termination, I'll check on it before we meet. But, I think it has to be the vote of the club to terminate
Yeah.
the club, because basically that's what.
All right. Well,
See how it goes.
All right. We'll discuss the club calendar.
I'll put the club calendar together and you tell me what you want on it. Obviously, we need to put on the days that we're not meeting in regards to holidays. I know,
Yeah, no holiday weeks.
exactly. We want to start getting back into Cerveza both self, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
That'll come up, but that in the next month that we would have it would be December.
Probably gonna spread
So
that.
probably just, March, I think, will be the one after that.
Yeah.
Pulling up my calendar here.
You're
I-
fine with board meetings on the third Wednesday of the week? It's in the bylaws, it is the second Wednesday. So we can move it back to that, or we can continue
I
with.
think I looked and I'm okay. Of course, my difficult times are gonna be March 15th, April 15th.
Yeah, just a little.
And May, I'm gonna be in Wyoming, so I won't be there at all. So if we get a president-elect between now and then, we will elect a president-elect.
Does anybody have any
Uh,
preferences in the second or third week in regards to board
After
meetings?
15th normally better, third is better.
Okay, so let's keep it 30. Maybe let's just be with that.
And I looked in the third Wednesdays in the future, all line up good for me. We normally meet at the art galleries in December twice.
You up for that?
Melanie, what day would you like to have us?
Either probably the second or third week.
8th or
8th or 15th?
Yeah, that will hopefully be early enough. I mean, I can do it the first week too, but I don't want it, I know people don't want it too close to the holidays because they're busy, so.
Yeah, it gets busier, yeah.
Yeah, well, the first Wednesday's right after Thanksgiving. Why don't we do the 8th?
Okay.
Okay, so we'll meet at Seaside the 8th.
Do you want me to ask Pat?
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, see if we can do the 15th there.
Okay.
Okay, and then once you hear, then let me know and I'll let Sea Ranch know we will not be here the 8th, 15th, or 22nd, or 29th.
Wow.
They're used to it, that's.
They
normal-
are.
That's
They're
our
Yeah,
used
we
normal.
do it every year.
So they're used to that
Yeah.
increase of money during that time. Okay. Is she the Kildare Hills Cooperative?
No,
What's that?
Pat Ewer is, from
Ghost Fleet
Ghost
Gallery.
Fleet Gallery.
I'm sorry, Ghost Fleet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Glenn Ewer was a charter member and benefactor of the club for years. If you had visited 10 years ago, you would have probably been given a Glenn, your original print,
Wow.
and maybe a hug.
Would I
And a dirty
missed out on?
A little bit of club history, real quick. Glenn fought really, really hard to get our name to be first flight. I mean, he went the distance. There's a lot of rules with Rotary, so,
Yeah, he kind of broke the mold
yeah. So
for
we've got a lot
Rotary
to be proud
International
of that name.
Yeah.
because they were really geographic prior to that.
I invited a lady minister to a meeting one time and Glenn flirted with her.
Is she married? That's the key point.
No, she wasn't.
It doesn't
married.
matter. It didn't
Doesn't
matter.
matter.
Yeah.
Carr, if you want to see some of his really great work, go over to Pony Redeemer. He did the
Stations.
Stations of the Cross
Does it?
in life size, well, more, not quite, but approaching life size, carved out of wood.
Oh, I
And
did.
they are absolutely, but 10 of them, I heard there's 12. I can't
12.
remember.
12, they're amazing. They
Yeah.
really are.
I'll go. Okay, sorry.
Glenn was an amazing artist.
You got 5 minutes.
We'll say a 10-minute warning on the meeting, so we've got a lot to cover still.
Okay, we got club calendar,
I'll get
New
that out
member-
to you by email. I'll set up.
new member orientation ideas.
Just really quick, I am going to, I consider that part of the club membership bailiwick, because we don't have a couple other chairs now. I think we need to move people towards the online training center for some basics. They got some great courses. They revamped that a couple years ago. And people are now used to some online stuff that previously tooth and nail to get them. Pretty soon, I'm going to be taking over the Rotary Leadership Institute district spot, district coordinator. I absolutely encourage everyone to, especially if they're going into a role in the club, to go to RLI, at least the first of the 3 courses. I'm also a facilitator for them. I really believe in Rotary education. But that's where we're going to start. I think we need to have some, probably start with some Zoom meetings, because we have now 12 or 13 members under 3 years with the club. So that's a good chunk of our club. And we got to get them cemented here in the first 3 years, so that they stay. So that's my ideas right now.
In my past club, we paid for RLI one for people on their own. I'm a Rotary RLI instructor, by the way. I work for RLI.
You still active?
Not this last year.
I understand. Because
I'm just trying to pay my
we're
bills.
right.
Every
Right.
place.
We're trying to, they're doing a lot of it online. They're trying to get back in person, but they're doing a lot online. So
That's good.
we hope to,
Go on.
and they're trying to break it up so they'll come to the beach and do it for RLI 1. If I can guarantee 14 people to be there on a Saturday,
Nice.
instead of having, everybody had to travel to Greenville for a Saturday, which is, and can't get people across the bridge.
Well, we need
get
to
to
remember it. Nice.
So those are my rallying points. I really need to rebuild the membership committee, since we have some newer people.
Excuse me, the next item on the bill, fits this issue completely. Have your mentor, remember,
Right.
Mentor has to know something.
because the mentor is going to carry the information and giving.
Right.
So the mentors have got to be trained.
Good point. And we pre-COVID, we've been working with that, but now it's, I have really not got my crap back together.
And I know K-Hawk for a while, and especially when they were looking at R, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 8 years ago. They had the red badge,
Yeah,
Bill,
red
and I know a
badge
lot of
club.
other clubs do that.
Yeah.
Red
And you
badge.
have to check off the different things you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a fireside chat and explain to them, and that
Yeah.
brings them into the club, period. And
Yeah.
either they end up doing it and get involved.
The other thing we might consider in addition to that is have a mentor. So it's kind of like you're talking about the basic Rotary stuff, the education. Set a basic, this is what we feel you should know about Rotary or have done before you can do. And I don't know if we're there, or at least if we do in the beginning, we should make it fairly easy. But that way, not only do you have encouragement to get rid of your little red tag, you have encouragement to have, say, a gold tag or something.
Have we ever had the practice in this club of a prospective new member being visited by a couple of members at their home and meeting family and so forth?
Not home visits, but I always tried to have an off-site meeting with everybody I was bringing into the club. So they understood the commitments both ways. And that's why, like I always ask them in writing 3 times if they want to be a member of the club.
I know, that's what it comes up.
And, you know, it gets, some of them seem a little redundant, but to me, it's the way I can amplify the commitment that we're very serious about membership. You know, don't want to take it lightly. We don't want to bring you in and you're gone in 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that happens.
Good.
Perhaps we can table if you want some of the items that you don't think are so important that they can wait till the next
Well,
board meeting, so.
we got those 50/50 rules in advance.
Yeah.
Real quickly, was everybody fine with that?
Yes.
Yes.
I moved it.
I got a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Raise your hands. Yeah.
Real quick, vacancies, I'd like to welcome Cora to the board.
Thank you.
We still need a president-elect and a second vice president. So it's tough. Talked to a couple people who are just way too busy to do it. Economy's to being too good could be a problem, but let's still keep that in mind. Let's see, we can defer the fall service projects and end the prohibition. Cora, Friends of Barnabas grant request.
Right. I sent this to Stan and I guess to Pearl, and it's been distributed to you. I've known this woman for a long time. She and I were both in Bon Air together. She is the president of Friends of Barnabas, and literally Friends of Barnabas, what they do is they go down to the islands and they look for kids that mostly have club house and keep them in the training. And it is a excellent organization. They do what they say they're going to do. People can certainly go down and help if you'd like to. So you could go ahead and consider doing some money. I think that might be great. It's a very easy way because it's already, there's already been many other approvals for that the grants will continue. Sometimes grants are challenging, no matter how well they're written. Sometimes it's because of location, sometimes because it's a purpose. And this club, I don't think, has been doing much international work for a while. Is that correct?
No, we actually, yeah, we have the water project.
And it's going right now, and you have that.
Right.
So this is just bringing it to your attention. It's a good one. You could consider it. I think you might want to. A lot of clubs international have 5 grants going at one time. They actually have a grant board member.
Right.
So something just to consider. But please come back to me if you're interested, or if you're not. She would be glad to come down. She lives in Charlotte, which is interesting.
Well, Don is here. He just walked in.
I know, we just got back.
And let's find out from Carl what kind of shape we're in finance. We'll probably discuss it next week.
That sounds great.
Next meeting, November 17th.
Do you have a road actor?
I do want
Meeting or
to,
now?
I'd like to talk about it now
Okay.
because I'm be leading on December 7th. talked to Dawn, I talked to Lori. Dawn thinks that two Rotarians who can be liaisons, I agree, just as we've been doing. We need 12 people in order to have an induction. Right? We're working hard. Stan's done a good job, thank you. I have, I'm gonna meet with Katie tomorrow. And coffee and Ree already told me she's coming, might bring a friend. Again, the development of this club, I'm a facilitator, it's not mine. Okay, I really need more help. And so please come on Sunday. I need to know how many people, so we have to write about food, et cetera. And we're hoping that we can go ahead and really have an induction, a nice little induction. It's that first Wednesday. The first, I like to do it. I already ordered the pins, I have 15 pins, all set.
Mention it to the club and so she knows.
I will, and we're doing, Stan signed up for one time, I'm signed up for, I have 2 kids signed up for 11, I have 1 signed up for 10. That's one thing about the show. They don't correspond. I mean, I'm a person, if I'm gonna plan logistically, I need to know who's in, who's not, when. And like, I was sort of surprised that I could wish that person showed up, like, it was great. But that's a bit of a challenge. Because it needs to be. We're ready to officers this Sunday, ready to, and we can set a schedule, like maybe the first and third every Sunday at 5 will be our meeting. First and third. We had a discussion, Jay and I, about money a lot. Jay sort of feels like at that age, money is very dear. It is always dear, and I usually just spend it. I truly think, and I talked to Megan, that we should ask $20 for them as members of Rotary. I know that this club will support us. I will look through the final paperwork this week and get back to you. I'd like to know what the board thinks about that. Discussion right now, but should they pay, should they pay it, should they pay it or should they?
Yeah.
How much?
25.
Fine.
Yeah, that makes sense. So they have something to gain that's
Jay doesn't.
What do you think? I think you're gonna have a tough time getting 12 people at 420 at that age. I don't know. I mean, that, my thought was, now I agree. I agree and understand where y'all come from, but I also remember back when I was 20 years old and if somebody had asked me to be a Rotaract member, it's $20 a month. I've been thinking, man, I can get 2 30 packs of MGD for $20.
You know, and I've been associated with one group who feels the way you do, and one group who is felt the way with mine. So I'm fine either way.
Why don't we get our 12 people and then let them decide? If they want to have to have a
All right,
treasury or
we can
not.
talk about that.
How you doing, Jim?
I think that's what.
And we're gonna raise some money this weekend for COVID, so just.
That's-
All right, thanks.
Nothing else, somebody move to adjourn.
Second.
Third.